Welcome back to Chicks and Twilight, where we talk about all the Twilight movies. Last up, Breaking Dawn Part 2, the last and final movie in the Twilight series. We've done it. You have done it.
We've done it.
If you're listening and you've come along on this journey, you have also done it.
Yes. And we made it to the end, and, you know, truly, I really forgot where Stephenie Meyer, like, took this whole story. And as a teen, I was very happy with how it all ended, because I think I just wanted, like, a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel, though, as much as I was fairly bored watching this movie, I really forgot how it ended. Kind of like this, like the gotcha moment got me again.
Yep.
And I was like, pissed. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. God damn it, I forgot.
You know how there's a saying, the grass is always greener?
Yeah.
That is how I felt with the Twilight movies. We didn't know what we had until we got to the end of the series and realized the beginning movies were a lot better than the last movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2, the worst of the bunch.
And it's just, she just kind of lost it with the story, I feel like, you know?
By far the worst of the bunch.
Yeah.
But let's get into our notes and we can discuss. I don't have many notes because I was really taken aback while watching this and was incredibly just, I don't want to say bored. It was more just like, man, I'm upset at how I'm now viewing this. I was more disappointed than anything.
Yeah.
All right, so these are my notes. It truly felt like a part of life was coming to an end when this movie was released. When Breaking Dawn Part 2 was released, it felt like I'm becoming a woman. You know, my childhood is ending and I am growing into a full-grown woman. Okay, moving on. All-time bad graphics.
I'm including one final note that I had.
All-time bad graphics in the beginning of this one. When they are running in the beginning.
So
yeah,
bad.
No,
all-time bad
It just never got bad. It just never got better.
It got better in some of them and then it got worse again.
I don't think the running, they ever figured out the running.
They never figured out
Bella
with everything running behind her.
Yeah.
Awful.
It's like, take a note from The Flash.
Yeah.
You know, The Flash runs fast. They have a whole multiple movies about that guy.
I feel like they filmed this whole movie on a green screen.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they did.
They
like
couldn't quite figure this one out. I'm having trouble watching Bella as a vampire. In the beginning when she's being like real aggressive and she's like kicking the wolves around basically, I'm just like, this is not believable.
Yeah.
You know?
But then like
I'm not buying it.
But then like by the end she's like, or like when she, I don't know, she kind of pulls that like, I was born to be this version of myself. And it's like, okay, I mean, if you feel that way.
Right. She has grown into a vampire.
If you feel that way, sure.
How long has it been since Charlie has seen Bella?
Great question. Months, days, weeks, years?
It's been a while.
Months.
I mean,
months.
more than 9 months.
But she was pregnant and she'd snap your fingers and she had that baby.
Right, speedy pregnancy.
Speedy pregnancy.
It wasn't a full 9 months.
It was not a full 9 months.
That monster grew quick.
She could feel the baby on the honeymoon.
That's true. That's true. It wasn't a full 9 months.
It was like instant.
This could be 1 month. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows how long this was?
Yep.
This line made me crack up when she said, I think that's our cousin from Denali. I don't know why. That one really got me.
Yeah.
I can't help but think, I said this in the beginning, but I can't help but think about how we had it good at the beginning of the series and we took it for granted.
So yeah, totally.
Like we didn't know what we had when we were talking about Eclipse.
It was just like the direction of the plot, you know? It could have gone in a lot of different ways.
It lost itself.
And yeah, it did a little bit. It did.
Now this is on me. I wrote, who the hell is Sue?
Who the hell is Sue?
Charlie and when Bella.
Oh, Sue.
Yeah, it's Sue.
Yeah.
It's Sue. But then I was like, when she was like, this is for you and Sue, I was like, who the fuck is Sue?
Yeah, I think that's Clearwater, the mom of Leah and Seth.
And is then with Charlie.
Yes.
Yes. I was like, who the fuck is Sue? Yeah. And then it clicked. This may be like a niche thing or I don't even know if that's the right word to use here, but there were so many YouTube edits of Renesmee before Breaking Dawn Part 2 came out that I forgot that that's what she actually looked like. Like, there were so many YouTube edits of Renesmee and Mackenzie Foy, the actress who played Renesmee, that I forgot that Mackenzie Foy actually played Renesmee. Like, I forgot it wasn't a fanfic.
She has a CGI face for like half the movie.
Yeah,
so bad, by the way.
Yeah. I forgot that it was actually her.
Yeah.
Because do you remember the amount of YouTube edits there were?
I do. And I honestly, I was waiting throughout the entire movie for her to finally like get to the point where they let her have her real face. Mm-hmm. And it takes a while. Sneaky takes a while.
It does. It takes a long time. And then my last note was the ending still made me cry.
Yeah.
You know, like just it coming to an end. I still teared up a little bit.
When they do the full black and white
when it goes
the characters
and it shows all the past movies and stuff. I was like, oh, you know what?
Bryce Dallas Howard gets her.
We're still here.
Yeah.
And we still got this far.
Yeah.
And those are my notes. Pretty simple because the movie itself, awful.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just
so bad.
It just goes back to the original point that we said for Breaking Dawn Part 1, that Breaking Dawn really could have been one movie.
It would have been so much better as one movie.
Just one movie. Like, they could have made Breaking Dawn with like a 2.5 hour runtime. I think that would have been just fine.
I found this one the hardest to pay attention to. All the other
center bits, yeah.
All the other ones, I was able to pay attention to it. Even the last one that was dreadful because she was just pregnant the whole time.
Yeah.
This one I found the hardest to.
There's a lot of slow moments when they're going to recruit all the other vampires. It's like they try to get you to care about all these other people that you just don't care about
because they haven't been involved.
They haven't been involved at all.
I got no attachment to them.
Their first introduction to all these characters, and the movie just like moves fast. I don't know. Okay, I'll go through mine. My first thought was, this should be an interesting watch. I forget how this all ends. The slow-mo fast running just visually never gets better. Never gets better. And this was just a thought about her like being a vampire because she just kind of like, she's like no issues, you know? She just immediately is like fine. Any other person, like any other previous movie, any newborn, they're off their fucking rocker. They're killing people. They can't be contained. It's like a disaster. One day she's like hugging her dad. She's fine. She's a human. Like, but anyway.
When she punches Jake in the stomach.
I laughed.
Okay, first of all, why did I say Jake?
Yeah.
When she punches Jacob in the stomach, she's like, pow!
Yeah.
It's just like, he just knocks over.
Yeah. Immediately, she just destroys the mountain lion and she's in no shoes.
Yeah.
Like, she's just barefoot running through the forest.
I love, like, after that, too, Edward is like, I'm so proud of you. Like, you didn't kill that guy and you, like, got a hunt.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Edward, when
she's, like, immediately a well-skilled vampire.
Right. Bella's just the best at everything, right? I mean, this whole series about how Bella is so amazing. But when she was like, oh, you stink. And Edward was like, yes, finally she gets it.
All caps, CGI baby face is so bad. It just,
creepy.
It's just creepy, terrible, hate it. I wrote, Nessie is a great nickname for a dumb name.
You think Renesmee's dumb? I think it's kind of beautiful.
I hate it. Really? Renesmee is an awful name.
I don't like it.
I kind of like I like Nessie. I think Nessie's cute.
Renesmee, I think, is like is beautiful.
Ugh.
Renesmee.
Terrible.
No.
Renesmee Carlisle.
No, terrible. Hate it.
Really?
Yeah, terrible.
I'm actually kind of stunned by that. I think it's like Italian. Renesmee Mariano.
No. Nope. Where the hell does this perfect little forest cottage come from? Alice is like, hey, here's your house. They're in the middle of nowhere. Where'd that house come from?
Alice has all these tricks up her sleeve.
It's a perfect cottage.
Yeah.
Like if you were to paint the picture of a perfect little, it's got vines on it. It's cozy inside. It's got all those books.
A perfect LFG.
Like where? Yes, talk about a little fall getaway to that place. Sign me up. That place should be on Airbnb.
Yeah, it should be.
Theoretically, like if they can move so fast, maybe they can like build things really fast.
Imagine. Oh my God.
Could, yeah, probably.
Picture them building things like
actually
in fast motion.
That actually is a very good point. Jacob really pulls some sneaky moves with Charlie. Multiple times, Jacob really pushes for what he wants.
we got to go back to you bringing up Nessie. Like, that is such a Jacob thing to do, to make up a nickname that nobody asked him for. And he's like,
I know.
I will protect Nessie. And she's like, don't nickname my kid.
No, you name my kid after the Loch Ness Monster.
She like turns into the Hulk. It's like, whoa, just take it easy, Bella.
I think Nessie's cute though. And so,
what about Ren?
Ren's good.
He's like, I will protect Nessie.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody nicknaming your baby you just had.
Well,
I mean, it happens all the time, I assume. But like somebody who that
but not
is
like another like ex-lover.
Right, like is just infiltrating your life.
And by the way, that whole the description.
I shall call her Nessie.
That happens, and him being like, I have no choice, and like blah blah blah, and then like Alice has a vision, and they're all like living happily ever after. But it's just weird. It's
so
weird.
And he's like, it's not like that. It's not what you think. And then
it's not romantic.
It is.
It's not romantic, but it will be romantic once she's old enough.
Yeah, wait until she's out of high school.
Yeah, so it will be romantic once she
turns 18.
Okay.
Talk about grooming.
I said, why do they have to? Oh, Charlie just really has to roll with the punches.
This man
once again
gets walked all over, like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, you're on a
he's spineless.
You're on a need to know basis, Dad.
Pipe down, Char.
Yeah, don't worry. You don't need to know. Why did they have to edit this kid's face so much? Like, I really feel like they could have just, when she becomes like 7-8 years old, like just have like they did not need to edit her face for as long as they did.
Just get a baby. Like a real baby.
I think they just really wanted to commit to this one actress. This cousin's a real snake.
Yeah.
Just immediately goes and tattles to the Volturi.
The cousin from Denali.
Yeah. What an absolute snake. Okay, and then I wrote, completely forgot Rami Malek is in this movie with a bunch of ha-has.
I was like, Freddie Mercury?
I know. All of a sudden I was like, holy shit, fucking Rami Malek.
So I had that same thought, and then I didn't write it down because I thought, did I miss Rami Malek in the other movies? Like, I had this weird thought where I was like, did I?
Yeah, same, honestly.
I was like, wait, did I miss him? Am I just realizing Rami Malek is in these movies?
Yeah. No, he's just...
Was this his first big thing, or was he an established actor? I think
so. I think he did this before Mr. Robot.
Yeah, definitely, I think.
Excuse me while I look up Rami Malek's IMDb page.
Yeah, or like maybe kind of around the same time. Okay, my next note is I'm bored.
I had that same note.
My note, that's when they're like going to all the other vampires and like recruiting them. I was like, this needs to move faster. And then I said, finally, this kid has a normal face. There are a lot more Volturi. Who are all these people? Like the Volturi show up and they have all these like extra vampires with them. And I'm like, what is this, the Volturi army? They just spare vampires, like come along and fight for us.
I will say this was Rami Malek's big thing.
Big thing, yeah.
He was in Night at the Museum.
Oh, yes. Great role in Night at the Museum.
He was in both of those. But I think like for,
yeah.
star power.
But like if I saw this movie, I wouldn't be like, wow, who is that guy? He didn't like jump off the screen to me.
No.
There's more than 2 Night at the Museums. He's actually in the third one as well.
Yeah, there's so many Night at the Museums. I laughed at Renesmee just having a giant backpack on during this battle. Like she has like a giant like JanSport backpack that like takes up her whole like it's bigger than she is. And then I wrote, the quote makes me laugh every time when Arrow goes, "Young Bella." Kills me every time. Young Bella.
Chicks in the Office is sponsored by BetterHelp. Do you ever feel like sometimes your brain is getting in its own way? Like you know what you should do, what's good for you, but you just can't seem to do it? Therapy helps you figure out what's holding you back so you can work for yourself instead of against yourself. There are plenty of people that have worked on themselves with BetterHelp. It's all online. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, you can give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. So instead of, getting in the car and heading to somewhere. If you want to do it in the comfort of your own home, the comfort online, you can do that with BetterHelp. You can just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/office to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/office. Once again, visit BetterHelp.com/office today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/office.
Oh man, and then I wrote Arrow killing Carlisle was so fucked, a lot of heads ripped off, and then I wrote, okay, wow, forgot about the pump fake battle. Like, I just forgot that that's like, that it was all fake.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly, I said Renesmee Carlisle before I meant Renesmee Cullen.
Yeah, so.
Just want to catch my slip up there. Sorry. But, yep.
Yeah, like, I don't know if that's on me, but truly, I also was like, I don't remember how this ends. I know that I know at the age that I was at when this came out, I was happy with how it ended. Mm-hmm. And like that, I felt like it was a happy ending for Bella and Edward. And in this moment, I'm watching all these people die and I'm like, gosh, this is way more like Game of Thrones-esque than I remember.
It is very Game of Thrones. I thought Battle of the Bastards.
I had the same thought. I was like, oh, but no.
Yeah. And then, pump fake.
Also, when they were
real.
When they were running at each other, the two armies, I guess.
Yeah.
Why weren't they like running like humans? Why weren't they running fast? It took so long for them to meet in the middle.
It's a dramatic effect.
I don't know.
Yeah, the continuity there is really in question, right? Because they're not. They didn't look like
no one was
moving
moving fast. They were fighting like.
I guess that's just like how they had to film it visually for us to watch. If they were actually moving at the speed, it would look terrible.
Yeah.
Do you think the movie would have been better if it wasn't fake?
If all that shit really happened?
Yeah, if they all really died.
I think it would have been better if
they
it was
could
real.
have done it in a way where like the battle actually happened and
only a couple of them.
Yeah, and like they still had their relative like happy ending. Yeah. You know? Like Jacob could have successfully ran away with her, but then like would they have been able to be reunited? I don't know. A lot of open questions there. Anyway, the whole thing's a vision, so it's like, who cares?
Right. Like all that time, all this wasted time in a movie.
Yeah. The second that I realized that it was like, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, that was the only part of the movie that I was like invested in.
Right.
And then it's just like,
because you're like, all right, shit's about to pop off. This is what we've been waiting for. And then in reality,
that whole big standoff, nothing happened.
Nothing.
Like they went to that standoff and Alice showed him what was going to go down, showed Arrow what was going to go down, and he said, all right, we good. We're out of here.
Never mind.
Bye, everyone. And that was it. Everybody walked off just fine.
Honestly, crazy. Like, if we're really going to...
I guess the only one that did die was the cousin, right? Yeah. Did that really happen?
But I think, like, we really just need to digest the fact that all of these movies led up to...
Nothing.
No, like
like the big standoff. Actually, they said, "Cool, she can live."
Yeah, no, we'll just leave it alone.
She's not an immortal child. She's good. She's good.
Like that's unheard of.
Yeah. And then my final note was I remember sobbing at this montage with 1,000 Years playing.
I wrote Christina Perri.
Teenage emotions, man. When she can finally show him how she feels.
Yeah,
and it's all the scenes from the old movies. Sobbing like a baby in the theater.
Yeah. And she said, like, there's no one out there that loves me, that loves you as much as I do. And he was like, there's only one person. Yeah. It was beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful.
Look, they got their happy ending.
When Jacob was like, you guys look really good together. That was like so funny. Like
I know, and he's like, should I start calling you dad? It's
that
like,
was
oh my god, that was bad. That was so bad.
Hey, I mean, they're all living happily ever
well, like, you can't be making those jokes when she's still a baby.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like, damn, I guess they just like...
Hey, future father-in-law.
Right, all four of them are just going to like live an immortal life together, you know?
But it's so creepy
weird
to think about. But I guess they can get past it.
In 100 years, they break up. Something has to happen.
They're together for life.
Together for life. And you know, Alice really doesn't get enough credit for just like making sure everything ended perfectly. You know? She disappeared. She found those other people that were half vampire, half mortal, was able to bring them Like the whole thing.
She's really the glue.
She saved the day completely.
And she's always there for birthdays.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's always there to make sure everyone knows it's Bella's birthday.
Final thoughts. We all just want our Edward.
Oh, that's sweet.
She found her guy.
Yeah.
And
Edward found his woman, and it took him a long time.
Yep. And my other last thought was Taylor Lautner was the best part of these movies.
Agree.
Just from all standpoints, like even like acting, like having any kind of comedic effect. Like he's the only one that maybe brought a chuckle here or there.
I think we can all agree that he was a light. He was a light at the end of the tunnel of these movies.
I think he was the best actor out of the three in these movies.
Yeah.
My notes?
I mean, they're working with what they're working with, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. My first note was spooky intro. Like very like dark. It took Bella way too long to ask about her baby. She's like she's a vampire now, and she's like, "Oh, this is all great." And then I feel like 10 minutes went by. Oh, Renesmee, like where is she? Like, how did that's how you almost died? That's your kid. I said they really weren't able to figure out the vampire running in 5 movies.
No,
like it's so bad. Kristen Stewart is the least believable vampire ever. Like her running up the side of a mountain, and like,
we're all on the same page here. Yeah.
And like her like angry voice, I'm just like, what the hell? Taylor Lautner looks way older. I feel like he like grew more than.
Well, I mean, like we said, we've discussed that he started these movies like really young. So it checks out that he would. Yeah. There's like a big difference between like 16 and 21.
Yeah.
It's so funny that Jacob is just like a part of the vampire family now. Yeah. Like he's just at all times he's with them.
Can't leave little Nessie out of his sight.
Bella's what they needed.
Also, yeah, like did that not until he told her like that he imprinted or whatever, like how did she not pick up like why is he here? Like why is he like following the baby?
Probably for her, like thought that he was
there
because he cared about Bella's well-being.
That baby is so fake, it's disturbing.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I couldn't creepy. Like stop. Like I'm like, why? Why did they do this?
I know.
And it's just like, they didn't even have like the technology to make it look real. Like,
I know. I guess like we were in the time where they thought CGI would be the best way to go for this instead of like.
But it
just getting a different baby that then grows up.
It literally looked like what it was, which like you put like an older face into like a baby's body.
It was very creepy.
It was creepy. So very creepy.
It was like the AI things now when you like see what the baby would look like.
Yes, more creepy, honestly. Yeah.
I laughed out loud at Bella beating up Jacob. That was just so funny.
So funny.
My next note was just Bella sucks. Like it was that whole part where she was like yelling at.
You were never
Jacob
a Bella fan.
No, I mean, no. Though Jacob put your clothes on when Charlie said that to him, that was just so funny.
Yeah,
he's been shirtless for 5 movies now.
Charlie also the only person with any comedic relief in these movies as well.
And it's like in that moment, like what else would he think he's doing? He's stripping in front of him.
Yeah. Also, Bella's mom never in this one.
Nope.
Bella's mom never meets Renesmee.
No.
Jacob's the only one who cares about Charlie.
Because it's also like, what do they do with Charlie?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like he knows that she's okay and that they have a kid.
But the kid's like aging at an insane.
Right.
And also, I mean,
now where do you go from here? Like, do you eventually have to tell Charlie?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Edward's a bad son-in-law.
Yeah, he is.
He shows no respect for Charlie whatsoever. Maybe because he feels so much older than him.
I mean, I guess. I can't get over how bad that fake baby face is. That was just another note.
No, I had multiple notes about it also.
It's weird to see Edward so jolly. As a note that I wrote.
He was. He's very smiley. Very smiley
like,
in the first half of this movie.
When she's like beating people up, he's like cracking up in the back. Like,
he's loving it.
Throwing a baby in the fire is wild. Like that, they just chucked a baby in the fire.
What, the immortal babies? Yeah. Yep. Can't have vampire babies run around.
This is so boring. That was a note. That probably accounted for like 30 minutes.
I think you wrote that down at the exact same time I did, which is when they start just going to recruit all those other vampires, and you're just
for no reason.
Let's speed this up.
I said, what was
right?
That?
They didn't need him.
Yeah,
just could have just had Alice come back, and everything would have been fine.
What was that laugh from Michael Sheen? Do you remember that laugh? It was like the most random, like weird laugh I've ever heard.
I mean, he has multiple. There's one where he's like, it's like a hee, but I can't even.
Yeah.
I cannot even do it. Like it's young Bella.
Magnifico. Yeah. I wrote that down because is that where you got it from?
No, I combined two other words.
Said, what did you say?
Magnifico. Fantissimo.
Oh yeah,
Fantissimo. And then I said magnifico. I combined two words.
This is like during the fight where I thought that it was real. During the I just wrote R.I.P. Mr. Cullen. I was upset about that one.
Mm-hmm. That would have been a real shock if it actually happened.
No, it was a real shock. Reminder that
they were all going down. Everybody was going down.
During that fight, I was like, reminder that all of this is Bella's fault. Like, because in that moment, I thought that all these people were dying. And like, these wolves were dying. The vampires were dying. And I'm like, all of this is her fault.
But it just like actually would have been so sick if Bella and like that move with Bella and Edward killing Arrow, like that would have been so sick if that really happened.
And I said, wow, that was a long fake out. Like that went on for so long.
It went on
usually
for
it's
too
like
long.
Really quick, and then you're
it's
back.
A full battle.
They did a full battle, and then we're like, never mind.
And think about how they actually had to film. Like, think about the money that went into filming that full battle. That was just like, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I start calling you Dad? Just so weird. Yeah. Just so weird.
Unbelievable line.
Just so weird. And then they showed him with her like in the future. Like,
Thanksgiving.
I thought that it wasn't going to happen like that. I thought that you guys were like saying, oh, well, no, like. The fact that he actually
I read that whole thing that it was like when they and then it's like then he's a mentor and then it becomes romantic.
But like
does the baby
But like she has a choice. Like if she gets older and doesn't want it to be romantic.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Jake would handle that
well. That's fine, but it seems to be the case that the romance comes into play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah.
And my last note was, so Bella edited a fan mashup video in her head and then played it for him.
Yes.
Like that is just so
what happened.
funny.
It was a YouTube edit.
She literally did like a YouTube edit in her head, and then he's like, how'd you do that? And like, can I watch it again?
What's the editing thing you guys use? Premiere?
Yeah, she edited Premiere Pro. She's like,
no, that was like an iMovie.
Let me download the Creative Cloud. And
that was like an 8th grade iMovie.
Yeah.
It was listen, we have to appreciate it for what it was.
Yep.
An interesting story with a lot of flaws.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, and the beginning,
and a cultural phenomenon.
And the beginning, way better than the end. And we did not appreciate the beginning while we were watching it.
Just crazy.
I had convinced myself that it gets better, and it doesn't. It
After
only
New
gets
Moon,
worse.
I mean, it goes like this. Twilight, New Moon.
But the thing is, Eclipse, going back on Eclipse, like, that's far better than them both Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
And we kind of shit on it. And like that one was way better than these two.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I have never heard anyone complain about receiving jewelry as a present. But it can be a tricky gift to get right. And when you're investing in a piece for yourself or anyone else, you want to make sure everything about it is absolutely perfect. That's why I want to share what makes me feel the best about a jewelry purchase, sourcing it from BlueNile.com. Blue Nile offers thousands of independently graded diamonds and fine jewelry at prices significantly below traditional retail. Whether you're looking for a bit of sparkle for yourself or a gift for someone special, Blue Nile offers peace of mind with every purchase with some of the highest quality standards in the industry. You can design your own earrings for something custom and fresh, or check out their necklaces for a timeless essential. Rhea and I both have pieces from Blue Nile. They are amazing. I have little diamond studs that are classic, timeless, can wear them all the time. I'll have them forever. Rhea has beautiful diamond hoops that she can dress up, dress down, a absolute classic look. So Blue Nile also offers 30-day returns and a diamond price match guarantee, so you can always rest easy knowing you made the right choice. Experience the ease and convenience of shopping Blue Nile today at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com.
So, this has been a fun journey.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a little bit of time before I rewatch the Twilight movies. If I could catch them on cable, but besides that, I don't think I'm going to go out of my way.
That I wanted to ask, because I listen to another podcast that rewatches stuff, and they always do like at the end, like if you had to recast this movie today, who would you? It's called The Rewatchables, that podcast, but who would you like recast today as these characters? Like, who would play
Interesting.
Bella right now? Sandra Ortega?
No. That would not be my choice.
I would go with like a Sadie Sink.
That's a good one.
Maybe.
Maybe like
Yeah.
maybe Timothy Chalamet as Edward.
He would make a good Edward,
Honestly,
I
yeah,
think.
he would. And then
And
who would be Jacob? Like who's muscular, like wolf look.
Yeah.
like
I don't know.
Jacob Elordi's way too cool to be in.
Honestly, I could see him being Edward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
true.
also Timothy Chalamet.
Do you think Millie Bobby
cool
Brown
as well.
could be Bella?
No, she would. She's too good. But Millie Bobby Brown's too good of an actress. I think
literally cannot think.
I think because Millie Bobby Brown, we know her so much as 11 that it would be
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Like supernatural to another supernatural thing.
Yeah.
What about Austin Butler?
No, he could be like Mike.
Yeah, I can't think of
I
someone.
can
for
literally
Jacob.
cannot think of a Jacob.
What about Anya Taylor-Joy for Bella?
She's too old.
Yeah, I don't know.
You need like, I mean, if we're going all the way back and casting like the first movie, you know, we got to have a believable high school student.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I can't think of a Jacob.
Maybe like Kiernan Shipka.
Yeah.
That could work. Yeah.
Why can I not think of one person for Jacob?
What about freaking
about
Jeremiah from To All the Boys? He would be a
Wait, you think
great
for Jacob?
He'd be a great Jacob.
Really?
Gavin would be a good Jacob, I think.
He'd be a great Jacob because he's like has that like goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you could cast
Summer After Pretty. Just take
all of
them.
them.
Actually, yeah, you could just put them in.
You could just put all
She
three.
would be a great
You
Bella.
could just put all three of them as each person in
Literally,
Twilight.
if they just became vampires and a werewolf, it's the same
That's
story.
so true.
Chris would be great as Edward also.
That is true.
You could just recast that entire cast as Twilight. Because I feel like, I mean, there's so many other like actors and actresses that have played vampires, but not that many like, trying to think of like the younger up and coming stars, you know?
Yeah.
There's a guy that's on Wednesday that I actually feel like would be pretty good too, and I just don't know his name. Trying to think of any like other teen dramas that I'm watching these days, but that's all I got. I've had an eyelash stuck in my eye for 30 minutes.
I have all our scores from every movie.
Oh, you do?
By the way.
Okay, good. Thank God, because I just went back to look and I don't have mine.
Yeah.
All right.
So the first movie, I gave it a 3.8. Rhea gave it a 6.8. Fran gave it a 6.5.
Okay.
The second movie, I gave a 6.2. Rhea gave a 7.9. Fran gave a 7.4. Third movie, I gave a 6.1. Rhea gave a 6.9. Fran gave a 6.8. And then the fourth movie, I gave a 1.5. Rhea gave a 1.8. And Fran gave a 3.2.
Okay, I'm gonna rate.
Yeah, I gotta restructure.
So do you want to rank the movies then?
I'm gonna rate this one first.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a 1.6.
I really feel the exact same
Wow,
way
so-
about this movie as I do part one.
Yeah.
Like, I just think this also is like a 3.2. Like, because in my mind, it's just like the same, is the extension of the same movie. I think I might also go 3.2.
I'll go 1.6 because I think this movie was like more entertaining than Breaking Down Part 1, but
Yeah.
it's
That's
still
fair. I could go maybe 3.3.
What did I rate Breaking Down Part 1?
1.8.
Okay, actually, I need to go. I this one's I think better than
go
this one.
1.9.
I'm gonna go 2.1.
2.1.
Yeah.
So Fran, are you doing 3.2 or 3.3?
3.3. However, I would like to, I kind of feel like I need to restructure
Yeah.
because right now I have Eclipse higher than the original Twilight, the first Twilight. And I think I would change that.
So
I think
how
I would
you-
do the original Twilight. Should we just rank them in order?
rank the not even like scores or anything. Just rank
Okay.
like your favorite in order.
Okay, mine would go New Moon, New Moon, Twilight, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn Part 2, Breaking Dawn Part 1.
That would be mine.
Same.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
See, I think mine would be. I think I would go Eclipse, New Moon, Twilight, Breaking Dawn Part 2, Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Eclipse gets your one spot?
He really loved Eclipse.
He did like Eclipse.
I liked
That
Eclipse.
is true.
What
he
happened
did.
in Eclipse again?
That was the one where they kill Victoria in the end
Yeah.
on the snowy mountains.
Yeah. No, I liked Eclipse. What, you guys don't really like Eclipse?
No,
that much?
Now getting to the end, I like Eclipse.
But I think I just like the original. The
Something about the
original
original
just
was just-
has more of the.
I mean,
when
nostalgia.
I'm ranking them, like the original has like that initial
That
heart,
feeling,
yeah, you know,
that pulled us in.
Yeah, but it is like objectively just so bad. I feel like the first one.
No, but the last two are so much worse in my eyes that the first one really gets lifted up again in my eyes.
I actually think like I would keep my scores, even though I have Twilight ranked lower than Eclipse, numbers wise. I think it's still just like in my heart is in the second slot after New Moon.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm happy with my ranking. Yeah. I hated the last two so much.
They were bad.
Yeah.
The first three,
it's not
I
Harry
can get on
Potter
board
where
with.
like the last movie is the one that everyone's like, that's the best one.
No,
that's why like Harry Potter, you're looking forward to like everyone's like the last movie.
Yeah.
This one, it's like
the last two of these awful,
terrible.
like really bad, and it makes me upset to say.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
We were on a high, and look at how low we've come.
You know, I will say though, I did enjoy rewatching all of them and jumping into it again because I really have not watched all those movies start to finish in a while.
I enjoyed it as well, and looking for suggestions for our next rewatch. I'm thinking Hunger Games.
Love. Were you?
Because I've only seen the first one a bunch of times.
Really?
I've never seen the other ones.
What about do you remember? you've never even seen the other one, so it's like you don't even really.
No, I've never seen the other ones.
You can't really decidedly give like a team.
No, and I loved the first Hunger Games. I don't know why I never saw the other ones.
Yeah,
there's like 4 of them, right? Catching Fire,
3.
and then
I feel like there's at least 4.
I think 3.
The new one's coming out.
Oh no! Oh yes, because they fucking did the same thing. Part 1, Part 2.
To Kill a Mockingbird? No, not To Kill a
To Kill a Mockingbird.
A Mockingjay.
Mockingjay. Yes. There's Hunger Games. No, but there is. Yeah. Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1, and Mockingjay Part 2.
Okay, I'm into it. I think Hunger Games should be the next one.
Yeah.
Right. If you could take a wild guess on between just actors wise, which guy
Liam Hemsworth.
I was personally a fan of more.
Liam Hemsworth.
Obviously. But like what's the other guy's name?
Pizza.
Yeah, Pizza.
Josh
but
Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson.
Hutchinson.
Have you ever seen
Hutcherson. Hutcher.
Have you ever seen the Maid movie?
Made in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
I love that movie.
Bridge to Terabithia.
No, never seen
I
it.
always bring up Bridge to Terabithia, and I feel like nobody
I know Bridge to
Terabithia, the book and the movie.
Anna Sophia Robb.
Was such a fucking sad story that I loved when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But all right, that wraps up the Twilight
There it is.
rewatch.
Happy
And
Halloween.
guys, you can, if you enjoyed and you're a fan of both us and Twilight, you can buy our collab sweatshirts. They are very like just spooky chicks in the office, which I like. They are a little vampire themed,
Tis
but
the
not
season.
over the top Twilight. It says chicks in the office on the front, and then on the back
Is a vampire with fangs.
Yep.
There you go.
So you can shop those.
Yeah, go shop them. And thanks for rewatching with us.
Yep.
And if you are on board with the Hunger Games, let us know because I think we're on board with that because I've never seen the other one, so I think it would be fun.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
All right, there you have it.